Hello, everybody. How do you do? Welcome to a new session of English Drops. This time we're going to talk about the expression out of the blue. We're going to learn how to use the expression out of the blue in different contexts. Out of the blue is an expression that means something that happens unexpectedly. And here we are with our first example with the expression out of the blue. Joint PhD graduate makes his mark in the Philippine film industry. After completing his master's in the Philippines, Michael Colin was keen to continue his academic career. His idea was underlined at a work meeting at the Australia Embassy when he spotted a study in Australia promotional banner. "It's calling me," says Michael. "I've always wanted to do a PhD, and out of the blue, I spotted the promotional banner." Michael, who previously worked as an executive director for the Animation Council of the Philippines and an independent filmmaker, is passionate about the sustainability of the independent film sector in the Philippines. And well, from this short test, I have chosen 3 words that may be unknown to us, and it's important to add to our vocabulary. The first one is keen. Keen es entusiasta. Aplicado inclusive podría significar. The second one is spotted, and it has to do with location. Okay, for example, in the sentence, "That's the spot where the murder took place", okay, es el lugar, el sitio donde tomó lugar esto, ¿verdad? Y tenemos sustainability, which is the same as renewability o sostenibilidad. And this is a second example for the expression out of the blue, okay? It's a long one, but let's practice a little bit, okay? Law alumnus Nigel Presley is awarded an MBE. Nigel Presley, senior partner at Huddersfield law firm Riddle and Hall and one of the United Kingdom's most respected care and adoption specialist solicitors, has been named in the Queen's New Year 2021 honors list, in which he has been awarded an MBE in recognition of his services to children and families. Nigel is a graduate of the University of Warwick. He studied at Warwick Law School from 1970 to 1973 on our Law LLB course, what he describes as a very imaginative course and unique in the way law was taught at the time. Nigel, 68, is a leading expert in kinship care, adoption breakdown, and care proceedings. A member of the Children's Panel, he regularly represents children, parents, and grandparents in care proceedings. Throughout his long career, he has received many awards, including being named National Kinship Care Legal Champion, Yorkshire Lawyer of the Year 2017, and Solicitor of the Year in the Law Society Excellence Award in 2010. His accolades have culminated in now being made a member of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, MBE. Nigel has been involved in landmark decisions as a result of judicial reviews he has brought, including a case in the Court of Appeal setting out when children living with grandparent carers should be regarded as looked after children. A grandfather himself, Nigel works closely with Grandparents Plus and many kinship support groups. He is a former trustee of family rights group FRG. As a result of actions in which Nigel and his team has been involved, over £1.5 million has been paid to carers in back pay fostering allowances. Commenting on the award, Nigel said, "This is a tremendous and unexpected honor which came completely out of the blue. When I graduated from Warwick 47 years ago, I never thought that I would have had such a varied and interesting career. It was a place of political ferment when I was there. I learned the importance of challenging authority and speaking up for those not being listened to. And then I have chosen these 4 words as part of the important vocabulary that we must add. Okay, the solicitors is just the same as lawyer, okay, abogado. Kinship care, o sea, kinship es familia, family, parentesco. Fostering, it's just like the same as adoption, adopting, okay. And allowances, it's similar to get, okay, to get. And finally, we have this last test to use with the expression out of the blue, and it's an introduction to anxiety. Anxiety is a normal part of life. It affects us all to varying degrees, and we all experience feelings of anxiety at some point in our lives. For example, we may feel anxious about an exam, job interview, or approaching handing date. Feeling anxious is perfectly normal. Sometimes the thoughts and feelings associated with anxiety can be used positively to motivate us into action. However, when the frequency and severity of anxiety becomes extreme and very difficult to manage, this can negatively impact on our lives, and we could be said to be suffering with anxiety. Sometimes this may be given a clinical label where it is known as Generalized Anxiety Disorder, or GAD, if the symptoms persist more days than not for at least 6 months. With such a condition, feelings of anxiety are more constant and often affect daily life significantly. Whereas stress may come and go as the external factors causing it change, be it at work, relationship, or academic issues, etc., anxiety is something that can persist even when external factors seem calm. When we struggle to manage our anxious feelings, we tend to imagine that things in life are worse than they really are, catastrophizing, and this can prevent us from confronting our fears. What is important is the recognition that anxiety is normal. It has a neurobiological origin formed in our early childhood's development, perhaps when we were distressed by separation from our figure of security, often apparent. As adults, it can be experienced as a response to trauma. Human evolution equipped us with an internal alarm system designed to protect us from danger. The system would make us hyper alert by giving us a boost of adrenaline that would increase the heart rate and boost the amount of oxygen going to our limbs, so we were better able to fight or run from danger. This is known as the fight or flight response. The butterflies in the stomach feeling that many associate with anxiety is the mechanism kicking in, but instead of being used to avoid immediate danger, it is often wrongly and inappropriately activated in a person during normal everyday situations when stress or anxiety has built up, often unknowingly. Sometimes there is an identifiable cause for anxiety, a traumatic incident, lots of cumulative stressors, or a significant life event, example, averment of serious illness. However, sometimes there doesn't appear to be an identifiable cause for anxiety, and this itself can cause stress. One way of thinking about anxiety is to imagine shaking a can of fizzy pop. If we keep experiencing stressors or continually shaking the can, over time it will need to release. This can be a good way of looking at anxiety, as it explains why sometimes it can seem to come out of the blue with no significant trigger. However, what has happened is that the trigger was just a very small stressor, but collectively they joined to make the drink explode. And then for this last part, I've chosen 6 words that I think that are very important to add in our vocabulary. Whereas it's something like similar to while, in contrast, en cambio, mientras que, en tanto. And we have struggle. It's a fight. It's fighting for something. Okay. Bereavement is related to loss, to grieve, pérdida, luto. Catastrophizing, it's es catastrófico. Unknowingly, it's desconocido, sin conocimiento, sin saber. Y finally, fizzy es efervescente, con gas, espumoso, efervescente, básicamente, fizzy. And that's how we have reached to the end of this English drop. And I hope that you enjoy it and you have learned a lot with it. Okay, take care, bye bye, and I see you in the next English drop.